I'm Hannah Ewing with Selling in Suburbia. I'm here with David Winans. He's the broker for Better Homes and Gardens, and I'm so excited to have him. He wrote an amazing book he's going to tell us about, and he's also going to just share a lot of his knowledge with us this morning. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Hannah.
Hello, hello. Welcome, most of the ladies, a few gentlemen. We are here today with David. David, you have a book, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give us a full introduction on your name and whom you are, sir.
Sure, I'm David Winans. I'm the broker for Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate.
Uh-oh, applause. This is like the audience is really happy to see you. Yeah, no, so we just want to make sure you feel at home, right? So applause is always good. Thanks for walking in.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about the book. Just give us a good intro so we kind of understand.
Sure, so I drove into Dallas out of college in 1975, got into brokerage, and then met my wife in a real estate office. Real estate's all I've ever done, so we were a mom and pop outfit, and then we've grown to about 200 agents and employees at this point. So.
Wow.
Bless you. That should be getting around.
Holy cow. All right, Shauna wants another round of applause. Is it for him starting the industry in 1976, Shauna, or for being married, or what are you asking? All of it. Applause for
I work with
everything.
my wife every day.
Oh, all right.
Sure
Applause. No. All right. Well, David, thank you. So we're glad. Everybody here, it is kind of a big deal. When you have an individual that comes on that is willing to share, that has the knowledge, that has the experience, that has done these types of things, that has the books. Look behind us. He brought a stack of books so everybody can read. He's really interested in you guys being smarter.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's really good. But this book here is designed to do what?
It's just tell realtors, the public, what is coming to Texas. And you know, we live every day in real estate, we work every day, but we don't really, I don't think we can comprehend the type of growth that is coming to Texas. It's phenomenal. So it's a great time to be in real estate. It's a great time to own real estate. You should be investing because it's going to explode.
I would agree with that. And, you know, we get a lot of questions here of what's going to happen in the very near future and what's going on. And like, I hear some negative things about the overall economy or just different things that people might put upon us, right? But from inside, the more you know about that, right?
Sure.
So go ahead and talk about that.
Well, I mean, you know, there's not a better place to live or invest or own a home than Dallas-Fort Worth because, you know, a lot of things can happen to the country, but so many people we all know how many people are moving to Dallas-Fort Worth, California, because there's opportunity here. That's why people are moving here, jobs and.
Yeah, no, this is an impressive time, an amazing place to be, and we as agents and brokers are very, very, very fortunate to be here. And you took some time because you wanted to commit this to paper, and so talk about this.
It started as a video project in 2008, and in 2008, the market wasn't well, and we were going through the Great Recession, and I could tell my realtors were kind of down, and so I did a video. It's the first time I ever did a video, and it was, if you go on YouTube, and it's called texaplex, and did a short video on Texas, and then I sent it across all realtors. I spammed everybody.
Okay. All right.
But I sent it across, and it really took off. And that original YouTube video now is about 225,000 YouTube views, and it just really, just really took off. So and then I decided to do a book about it. Same thing.
So are you telling me that if you put out good, high quality content and you publish it correctly, that people will engage in that?
I think they will.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point for everybody out there. We are working on certain things. There are things that I continually preach, and it's really nice when we have people here to back up with those same exact sentiments, and that is really good viewership there. That's excellent. All right. So the book in particular, we have hard copies behind us, and in front of us, you have the you gave us a soft copy. So I'm going to share the screen, everybody, and I'm going to give everybody a copy of it and chat it in here for us. So talk a little bit about how you feel on this being shared or anything like that or promoted. What I want to make sure is that when I'm talking to the agents here, that we're doing the right thing.
because you have the digital copy.
Yes.
People are free to send that to whoever. I
Okay.
did not brand the video or the book to myself or my company. So it's,
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is more about explaining and allowing people to fully understand it. Okay. So go ahead. This is the mouse here in front of us. We have the full presentation up. It is 19 pages. So you'll be over here just a little bit, and then you can scroll, and I think you can get to the next page.
You might have to do it.
Maybe. All right. So then you just scroll down. So tell me when you want to go down. Go ahead and we'll get it down for you. No problem.
Mike, you're better on that mouse.
We're better on the mouse. All right. Everything's a little bit different. If anyone's touched my keyboard, you guys understand that I have some weird stuff here. This mouse may be a little confusing as well. So go ahead and start to talk to us about this, please.
So in 2008, when I, things were bad, I thought I'm going to give this area a big name. It's called the Texas Triangle by Texas A&M or the Texas Urban Triangle. I wanted a solid name, so I named it the Texaplex because really Texas Triangle sounds like a place where people get lost.
Wait, this is your name.
Yes, that's my name.
You came up with this.
Yes.
All right, so I've heard this referred to many times. Have you had this published anywhere, like besides the book? But did you
copyright?
You did?
Trademark? Yeah.
Okay, good, because it's a really good term.
Right. Yeah.
Impressive.
So it's the big parts of Texas, and so in this triangle, we have 75% of Texans live in that area that's about 20% of the land mass. So we are concentrated in a very small area. I mean, the outside people think that we all ride horses and things like that, but we are concentrated. We are very urban in Dallas-Fort Worth and the Texaplex area. So
when I first moved down here, I moved down when I was younger as well. And I told my buddy that I was moving down here, and I said, hey, I met this really awesome lady. Her name's Shauna. You're really, well, she wasn't a lady at the time, but she, I met her at the time. And I was like, she's awesome. You're really going to like her. And he had envisioned that she was going to wear tassels on everything she owned, and she would have spurs and boots, and she would probably have a horse, and she would tie it up, and then she'd be like, howdy y'all, what's going on, Mike? But it's very, very different from that.
That's absolutely. And you're a very lucky man, Mike.
Whoa. Yeah. All right. Everybody always tells me how lucky I am. I don't know that anyone tells her how lucky she is in reverse, but yeah. Hey, that's fine. I appreciate that.
So look how beautiful that picture is. And that is the Texaplex photo from the International Space Station.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful? And so you have Dallas-Fort Worth on the top there. And it was kind of hazy that night, I guess.
Okay.
And then you've got Houston. Look at Houston down here. It's an incredible, it looks like an exploding star, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then you've got to the far left, that's San Antonio.
Okay.
And then that traffic going through to Austin and the traffic going up to Dallas-Fort Worth. So amazing. I love it.
Is this maybe Waco-ish, or where do you think that one?
I think that is Waco, and then Texas A&M, I predict that might be it.
Oh, all right. I would say you're right, because it's closer to Houston. That's interesting.
But, and the cool thing about our 4 metros is we are all very different, right? I mean, as a family, we don't really compete. We do compete sports-wise, but we all are very different, and that really complements those areas, how different we all are. Okay. And, Houston's like one big Houston, but we're like made up of, Dallas-Fort Worth, more 200 suburb city. So it's very different, but it all works for everybody.
That's excellent. So, recently I've been reading a lot of stuff about the differences between Dallas Metro, and specifically north where we are at, and Fort Worth, and the divergent paths in which they've been taking, because they were kind of operating cohesively and growing at this rate. And now all of a sudden the rapid growth rate and the types of businesses that are on our side. Maybe we can co-author a book on the next one of the local, and we can talk about that. All right, so next, we'll get to that next.
So like I said, in 2008, when I did this video and sent it out, it just really did take off. And so my daughter, who is a librarian, called me and said, Dad, you're in the Economist. I'm like, what? And she goes, well, you're not really in the Economist, but your Texaplex is. And it was the leading paragraph that said, when people came to visit Rick Perry in Austin at his office, he would treat them to a 7-minute video called Texaplex. So it was kind of a cool thing.
Wow.
So-
I thought your daughter was talking about this photo over here.
Right. I'm like,
I thought she thought you were
think
that
that looks
guy.
like you, Mike?
No, I thought
Oh.
it was you.
Oh,
That
right.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was your
yeah,
daughter
I wish.
complimenting you.
But it is kind of cool. You got the whole story that I think was a 15-page thing on California versus Texas. But you see the Californians walking in from the water with a crab on his rear, and then the Texans coming in with a jet ski, and you know,
Nice.
that's kind of what's happening.
All right. No, it is. There's definitely. Whoa, who's this guy?
Okay, so then I got a lot of TV gigs after doing it. So I guess my point, I'm not bragging about being on these different things, but if you've ever dreamed to write a book or do anything, do it, or a video, do it, because you never know where it'll take you. You do not make money writing a book or doing videos. You know, I don't, you just don't make money. So this was on Good Morning Texas. It was so much fun, and but I do want to point out, look how big I look at big Mike?
No.
And look how skinny the guy, and they make illusion to make them really good, and they make me.
So I do have a general follow-up question. Has this, and I definitely not specific numbers, has this been good for your real estate business?
Absolutely, because
Your
it connects me
personal
with people like
Yep.
y'all, and I got to go to Toyota, invited me in Houston, paid $5,000 for me to speak for 15 minutes, which is amazing. I wouldn't pay $5,000 for that, but and then I was able to give it to our charity, and so it's.
Wow.
So,
Hey, so you're doing the right
so
thing.
when you do things like this, it just connects you, and so you won't make money actually selling the book, but
Okay. But that's good. But do you feel it helped bring you additional real estate stuff,
Absolutely.
additional, it gave you authority, it positions you?
Yeah. Because this book can be read in about 30 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
It was a book I would have read as a kid because I didn't.
Yeah.
I got the ones on the picture, right? So,
All right.
So a little quick history lesson in American history for just real quick. And so there's been 4 great waves of growth where people move, and people move for opportunity. That's why they move. But there's been 4 great waves, and the first one is the Eastern Seaboard, obviously Boston, New York, Philly, Baltimore, Washington D.C., and these areas still do quite well. And then the second wave was around like 1920, 1930, and that's the industrial Midwest, Chicago, Detroit, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Cleveland. And these cities had a lot of problems when manufacturing went overseas. And so a lot of those, Detroit especially, is really reinventing themselves now. But that was a big wave. But then after the third wave, that was right after World War II was over, and that was Seattle. Well, mainly it's Los Angeles, San Francisco, but then you had the ancillary areas of Seattle, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and super growth out there. And then people again move for opportunity because we know how many people are moving from California to Texas, and the Texplex is the 4th biggest wave, and we have it's only begun. Even though we think, man, it's really grown here, you just wait. It's amazing what is going to be coming our way. But and I actually, personal note, I was born in Detroit, and then when I was 6 months old, my parents moved to San Diego. I thank them for that.
Wow.
And so I grew up there, and then out of college, I moved to Texas. So I've actually been in three of those waves. So I'm not old enough to be on the.
So you weren't here when the Pilgrims came?
I was not.
No.
I was close.
Okay. That's fine. In the Model T, we missed that one.
Yes.
All right.
So living in Texas right now is like living in California, right after the World War II, or at the turn of the century, being in Chicago. It is the place to be. And I don't think we all really can comprehend exactly how great of an opportunity that is, but it really is.
Now, when people come here, they think that they move to Levittown, which is like the first subdivisions, and like every house looks exactly the same.
Right.
But they are different.
Right.
It's really a crazy thing. I know when I first got here, I looked around, I'm like, every house is the same. And then the more you understand it, you look and you see the detailed differences.
Right.
But we are built a certain way.
So, and the book has a lot of, just like simple facts. And if Texas were a country, it'd be the 11th largest economy in the world. And actually, it's number 10 now because my slide's a bit old. But we are number 10, which is, pretty cool thing. I mean, we are. It's a serious place.
All right. So fact-based question for you here. When you did this, did you include the European Union as one, or did you have them as separate countries? Separate countries.
Yeah.
So now the current thinking is that they operate as one cohesive unit. So the number becomes a lot. Yes. So you go way up,
This
and
is-
you could
number
almost
one.
you could almost be number 5. I
Right.
think is the number. And the thought there is the European Union has several countries that would be larger than Texas on their own. When you combine them into one union, then the numbers shrink, and there's not many bigger then. So, okay.
So this is kind of a little fact that kind of tells you about supply and demand. But if you go to U-Haul and you rent a truck, you put in, I want to need a truck from LA to Houston, Houston to LA. To go from LA to Houston, when this was done, when I did this in the book, it was about $3,000 to go this way. Going back to LA would be about $1,000. So that just tells you, I mean, there's just a lot more demand coming here. Now these numbers will change day to day.
Yep.
I looked it up, when I did the slide, and it's about 2 to 1. So it cost you about, to get here it'd be about $2,000. Going the other way would be about $1,000. So
Yep. And that shows because they need the vehicles here because there's things, right? There's shortage, whatever there is, and they're happy to have you drive it back for them. So 11, of the top 11 cities in the United States, we have 4 in that pretty small area called the Texaplex, right? Because each of those angles is about 220 miles. So it's a very small area we are in. But San Antonio is the number 7th largest city in the United States, and nobody knows that. Nobody appreciates that, but it's a pretty cool fact. No, that is an impressive fact for sure. And I love this one, Dallas-Fort Worth. The Dallas-Fort Worth Metro alone is larger than 33 U.S. states. So we're bigger than Colorado, we're bigger than Idaho. But when you think that we are, just the Dallas-Fort Worth is larger than 33 U.S. states. It's pretty cool. Another crazy one that people always used to tell me when I first got here, which was actually wrong, was they said that the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, DFW, was as big as the state of Rhode Island, and that's not correct. But it's bigger than Manhattan. Yeah. So, all right, very good. That's and I don't know, sometimes you may have agents go, God, can we open an office in Austin? Which I have people ask me that. I'm like, well, I don't need to go to Austin. We have a lot in Dallas-Fort Worth. We don't need to go outside Dallas-Fort Worth, right? Okay. So, very good. So the growth is staggering. That, again, the slide's a little bit old. The book is updated, but the slide's a little bit dated. But we have 7.4 million people today in Dallas-Fort Worth. And so by 2050, we're going to go to 16.7 million. So that's just really hard to comprehend. I mean, it's just that's a lot of growth. So sometimes we think traffic's bad now. Well, of course, I think we will be all Uberized and things will be okay in traffic in the future, but it's amazing. So to be in real estate at this time, oh my gosh, especially if you were like 30, 40 years old or so, oh my gosh, the opportunity is incredible by the time one would retire. So a lot of opportunities. So you think millennials are eventually going to buy homes? You're bullish on millennials? Millennials want to buy homes. Millennials want to buy homes. No, I thought they wanted to stay living at their parents' house. No, well, yeah. I have 4 kids, and no one was ever allowed home. If anyone ever moved back, they would have to take piano lessons. So it just kept them anyway. All right. Okay. So this is kind of a visual of over the next 35 years what's going to happen, and so adding to the triangular area. This was a crazy slide. I looked at this and I was like, wow. So throw in the area. Yeah. Remember all those lights in the satellite picture? Yes, I do. So put in Dallas-Fort Worth, another Austin population, another Houston population, which is, enormous, and another San Antonio. And all those will be in here. And then hit that next slide. Yes. And throw in LA. The population of LA and those 4 into the triangular area. So we all know where to invest, right? It's right where look at the satellite picture, and you're just going to be on the outskirts of that, right? Now, we're either going to go up, we're going to go out. I think we're going to go everywhere, It has to go somewhere. Okay. Yeah, that's patriotic. That's very patriotic. That's really good. I feel like I should salute. Yeah. And I didn't grow up here. A lot of people think, I wrote a book about Texas. I was probably the one to write the book because I wasn't from there. I appreciate Texas. I love Texas. So, very a Texas girl. Yeah. So I'm coming up on officially becoming a Texan. I had to do some math on it, and I think I officially become a Texan in about a year and a half from now. I wanted to make sure that I was here over half of my life, and then I would no longer be consider myself a New Yorker, and I would become a Texan.
Mhm.
And I was going to buy a pair of boots.
Mhm.
That just seems symbolic to me. I put it off for that length of time and waited until.
Right.
So.
But because I wrote a book about Texas, people assume I have boots. I don't have boots. So I need
No boots for you?
Do you want
Do you have a hat?
to go together? Go ahead and get
Wow,
boots?
Whoa, that's a really good question. I've said that I was going to wait till it was that time, but yeah, I think when the next book comes out, then yeah, we can get. We're gonna play. We're making a date, David. We have a date.
Mhm.
All right. So that was all amazing information here, guys, on just our local area, and I hope that you guys understand and appreciate kind of what was going on there. That's going to end our normal time talking about this. Now I have so many questions for David, and I'm going to ask that Shauna, if you wanted to come in and ask any other questions, just about being an amazing broker and about having the experience that you have, that you could bestow upon, younger that people who don't have as much experience in brokerage, right? So you guys we were talking before we started a little bit about kind of referral business and about relocation business and things that I was thinking were important to me. Do you want to talk about that for just a little bit?
I do want to talk about the industry where we're headed right now.
Oh, good.
And the disruptors.
Perfect. All right.
Disruptors. But you can read, if you read Inman every day and all, you just get kind of tired of just the how our industry is going to change. But it still comes back to relationships. So maybe 20% of the business comes off the internet or whatever, and you're paying time for these leads. But really 80% of it is relationships. That's why people that's where still the future is, even though they're telling you, no, the realtor is going to be disintermediated and they're going to leave, but it's not going to happen.
Well, especially as you're talking about some of these other things. So if we were to break down that whole discussion about that, right? Some of the things that the disruptors really want is they want homogeneous homes, so they can, the ones that are all very, very similar, so they can value them, right? They want them to be relatively lower price points, so that, that their risk is not as much, and there's transactionally, they can do that. But as you start to see this, our price points are going up, and up. I don't know, I haven't looked at those things, but I would say that those types of companies don't do well with the higher price points when you have to compare more factors, when there's a lot more variables, and you really need a true professional behind you. But imagine our price points going up another $100,000 or another $200,000, right? That would become very, very difficult for them to compete with. And that person that has the $500,000, $600,000, $750,000, $800,000 home, that person is probably not going to feel comfortable trusting the one click.
And I haven't sold a home in 25 years, even though I'm in the brokerage. I wouldn't list my own house. I have one of my realtors listed. So, I want a professional job. And it matters. So.
Okay. Very good. Tell me some other things that you really like and where you think that the industry's headed that are important.
Well, I think we talked about relocation, and I do believe that again, how many people are moving here. So relocation is a very, very important, part of one's business, I believe. So. Okay.
Another huge thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to get out in front of a lot of people. We're trying to do a lot more video, a lot more. So that's, Courtney's here, and we're really investing heavy into videography and putting together Acquisto Real Estate TV channel and putting all these different things underneath it. And Hannah's here this morning with Selling in Suburbia. So big hand to Hannah for participation. But
the video is, well, obviously my video project took me somewhere. But video, and I have 6 grandkids. They're all on YouTube. They're totally on YouTube. They don't watch TV.
I'll have to check my subscribership. They might be following Around the House with Mike. That's my personal segment. I don't know. Maybe your grandkids are on that. So maybe next time introduce them to it. If not,
so video is very important. So
okay, very good. I'm glad. But you think personal connections very important. I talk a lot about when we have a newer agent coming in, right? And one of the first things that I try to talk with them about is if one of their ancillary friends, like somebody from down the street
Mhm.
hears, oh, Joni's going to get into real estate,
Mhm.
right? Is she a true professional in which you trust to list your home? And when the husband and wife over here are talking and they're like, Joni from $4 down is going to become a realtor, do they say, yeah, give her a little bit of time?
Mhm.
Or do they say, you know what, I trust Joni. She was really good on PTA. She's a true professional. She's always been really good about this. She has a good eye for blank. I totally trust her. She wakes up in the morning, she gets after it,
Mhm.
right? She's that type of person.
Mhm.
I'll give her a shot.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of one of the different forks that a person can go right when they get in the
Mhm.
business
Mhm.
is people trust them, or
Absolutely.
people are like, no thanks.
Right. Because I'd be okay with somebody that did not have a lot of real estate background if I knew that they knew
Yeah.
about all these other things. But we do have a lot.
Try.
I think agents do well to be with a company like yours or
Mm-hmm.
mine, where it's very hands-on. I mean, we're very heavily involved.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many people in our industry. I always like to point out in Texas, what's 200 hours to get your real estate license, right?
Mhm.
To be a manicurist, do you know how many hours it takes?
I don't.
600.
600.
3 times the hours to be a manicurist. So there's so many people in our industry. To me, it's not too hard to stand out.
Well, I heard an interesting quote the other day from Colleen Frost,
Mhm.
who's an independent broker, but
Mhm.
she's now grown to 50 agents. And she was very, very thankful for the low barrier to entry to get into real estate,
Mhm.
because before this, she was cleaning homes.
Mhm.
And she said she was able to go from cleaning homes to get into the real estate industry
Mhm.
and then become successful because the barrier to entry was so low.
Mhm.
So it was a weird take on it.
Years, yeah.
Yeah, but it allowed her to get into it, to go from being a house cleaner to
Mhm.
a successful broker.
I was going to be a manicurist, but
You were?
the hours were too much, so I decided to be a realtor.
Yeah.
So I thought I took that course.
All right. Well, that's good. So those are all some amazing things. I'm glad you're sharing some of your wisdom with us, and that really helps push us in the right direction. There's many, many more things that we can talk about, including right now, I think we have the bee remover guy that's going to show up here. So I'm going to do a short segment. Yeah,
Awesome.
we have a bee infestation up on the second story in the front under the eave. So he's going to be taking the bees out. He said we have a lot of them. So I'm going to do a
Excited to
social
see
media
that.
video with the bee guy
Very cool.
and see how that all
Mhm.
works.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you want to participate in that,
Right.
then there you can.
Oh,
He's in on the bees. All right. Well, that was good. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow.